Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm Tim Meyer, and I'm joined here by Romeo varsity cross-country coach Mike Buslip. And Mike, congratulations on the girls winning the state championships and a successful season in the team as a whole.
Yeah.
Early on in the season, how did you see things?
I mean, especially in the girls team, I mean, we returned 6 of 7 last year, and then we obviously had a lot of freshmen that came in that are just kind of getting integrated to the team. So one of the things that I really try to do and focus on, especially early, is just not get ahead of ourselves. Kind of focus on the training, focus on the moment, trying to get just better at what we're doing. And I'm a coach that really trains to peak. So we want to be like primed and ready to go when it's important, and that shift happens for us come October. So when it comes to the early season stuff, I don't put a lot of stock into it. I feel like you can run bad early season and, make some mistakes along the way and be just fine when it matters the most. So, and I think when it comes to the early season stuff, we just, we want to form a team. All right. A team that really rallies around each other, a team that's committed to the work, a team that really enjoys being around each other. And, obviously the girls, just by what happened last year, winning a state title, they're already coming in as the favorites this year. So, I really just tried to tamp down that noise and just not talk about it. I mean, we're already aware of it, so there's no sense talking about it. Let's just go to work.
You already got it once.
Yeah. And the boys have had a long run. I mean, we have, won 8 county titles in a row, have year after year qualify for state meets. And I think it's one of those things where it's, you kind of get in this mode where it's like, okay, this is just going to happen every single year. Romeo's going to qualify for states. And it's not the easiest. It's not easy. It's really tough. You definitely have to have all the, right things in place and just the right group that's willing to train and work hard. So it's
when you say train, like, okay, it's running.
Yeah.
What do you run uphill? Do you do weights? How does it work?
I wish it was that easy. So there's a physiology to it. So you actually have to kind of know what the training and everything like that's doing to the body. So it's, just like lifting weights, you have to lift the weights the correct way and kind of segment things out in order to do it correctly. So if it was just running, I feel like everybody would be good at it. I think where the coaching part comes in is you actually have to know
Not me.
Yeah. You could be, honestly, and this is what I tell all my kids, the common complaint I get about like trying to get kids to join cross country is this is what we always get. I'm not a runner. Well, I wasn't a runner at one point, and you know what? We can turn you into a runner. So like everybody's a runner at heart. It's just you got to be willing to obviously do it. Like right now, I'm not a runner, so because I haven't been running, and I need to do a better job of that.
You told me too, or you had just mentioned about along with in the early season. Are you working on strategy? Because there definitely is a strategy for a team.
Yeah.
When you run a cross country race. I mean, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, my biggest strategy when it comes to coaching is I want kids closing out races. We have to be running our best at the end of the race. So we're a closing team. We're always going to be a closing team. I preach that in workouts. I preach that in racing. But when it comes to August and September, I usually give kids the freedom to kind of race how they want to race. And then I kind of look at it and try to put it together based on what I'm seeing. Some kids are probably going out too conservative. Some kids are probably going out too hard. Some kids are not being tough enough, maybe in the middle miles. Some kids are just fried from the training. Maybe they're doing too much on the outside, not sleeping. Maybe letting schoolwork get to them.
What do you mean, like, in the middle, they're not doing well? Like
Like the second mile, like in
they
the middle
just
grade.
don't have a good pace? Is that?
Yeah, they're just falling asleep or just not like paying attention to what they're doing. I mean, racing and cross country is just as much physical. I mean, just as much mental as it is physical. There's a huge mental component to it, and I think that's one of the reasons why we do such a good job. Is I've kind of been through it in the past, so I kind of know how to relate it to the athletes that are out there doing it. I mean, it's tough. I mean, we
How do
really,
you mentally tough? You're talking mentally tough as well.
yeah.
What do you think of when you're out there other than my legs are killing me?
Try to focus on something else that takes your mind off the pain.
Yeah.
Everyone else, everyone has a different approach to it. Some people thrive on the pain. I mean, it's just one of those things where you just have to be able to have a willingness to accept it and just relax your way through it. And then part of it is, and this is what I always say when it comes to sports, and then it's particularly running, your max effort and the best of your ability is the best of your ability. And sometimes there's no possible way of going beyond that. And that's at the end of the day, when we get to racing, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach the best of the ability. And there's a lot of times after the race, kids can be like, man, I just wish it was easier. I have more and stuff like that. But I'm looking at the coach and it's like, man, I don't know if you had more. Like to me, like you gave everything that you possibly had that day.
Yeah.
And so it's that fine tune, that fine balance. And this sport, I mean, the cool thing about it, but also the harsh thing about it, it's a developmental sport. So you're really starting at step one as soon as you walk into these doors, and you can't skip steps. So you got to go the second step, the third step, and then, eventually you'll go up the ladder. And sometimes when you're going up the ladder, you might get to step 8, you might fall down 2 steps, and it's like, no, you're not a horrible human being or doing anything necessarily wrong. It's just how the sport works. And, you have to kind of go back up the steps again. And that's the cool thing about this boys team and this girls team. They're an incredibly resilient group. This boys team, and I keep telling them right now, I mean, we had a good season, made it to states, finished 24th, I know there was, going into the county meet and the regional meet and stuff like that. Those are meets, obviously, we pride ourselves on winning and stuff like that. And, afterwards, like, man, we didn't get it done. But it's like, look, like, guys, like, I really feel like we need these moments right now in time. So even though our streak of winning the county titles is done, I feel like having this type of season on their end is ultimately what they needed in order to grow forward as a group in the future here.
Time to start another streak.
Yeah, time to start another streak and, kind of, not take things for granted and have gratitude for the opportunity. And I mean, they can be one of the best teams in the state, in my opinion, next year if they put in the work and they enjoy it and enjoy each other. And then the girls, I get a lot of questions just, from outsiders just wanting to know what we do and what's so special about them. And it's just, they're resilient. They've had, I mean, this wasn't easy this year, and by any stretch of the imagination. For one, you're dealing with the extra added stress of, obviously trying to be a repeat champion, which
having won it before, and,
Yeah.
and the pressure to repeat is.
Yeah. It's hard. And
that's why they say it's difficult in any sport,
Yeah.
to do this.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen often in cross country. There's very, very few repeat champions in cross country. And what they did was unbelievable this year, just the way they approached it. And they had overcome a lot of things this year. I mean, one of our best runners broke her collarbone in the middle of the summer and had to take a significant portion of time off, and to come back from that. It's hard. We had a girl last year at regional meet, broke her foot 1 week before the state meet, and she was an all-stater. Well, I mean, going into the state meet last year, and unfortunately she had to spend all of track season trying to work her confidence back, work her fitness back, trying to, get back to what she once was. And both those athletes, Violet and Emmy were all state this year, overcoming these things, just overcoming some nutritional things and maybe some overtraining, and just dealing with the pressure of just
it's important. It's important for a runner to have proper nutrition. I mean, you can't just run on Twinkies.
No, you
I mean,
can't.
I would try it.
Yeah, and you can't just run on health food either. I mean, the healthy food doesn't have a lot of calories in it, so
Right.
it's just it's a balance of everything. So, and everyone's different from that concept. So, yeah, so we really try to do a good job of it, and we make mistakes along the way. We're not perfect,
Nobody is.
but we
Nobody
try to-
is.
try to improve.
What what was going through your mind when you knew the girls were going to take states, or when you saw that it was evident? What kind of went through your mind?
It's actually funny. I was at the start line. I told the girls this. I don't know if they, I mean, I was just, one of the things I didn't do a good job of last year was I didn't really take in the moment as much as I should. I was so hyper focused on just like, all right, making sure that they were ready and doing the things that they, needed to do. And then this year, I'm just like, okay, like one of the things I wanted to press this year was just like, let's enjoy the moment. And, as soon as I started doing that, they were like out there, just kind of doing their strides and getting ready and just kind of like obviously doing, we're like 5-10 minutes away from race time. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take in the moment. And then after that, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about this. And you start to get a little choked up and emotional about it just because of all the work that they put in and just how special this group is. And thankfully, my best friend who coaches at White Lake and kind of snapped me out of it. And he's like, hey, we're fine. I'm like, I'm not nervous about them. I actually have nothing but confidence in what this group is about to do. And I know they're ready. It's just like, you don't get teams like that this very often, and just to enjoy it. So
Coaching cross country this season, what would you say it was something you're going to take away as a memory from this year's team, both the boys and the girls?
I mean, well, in some ways, I mean, they're still training and stuff like that, and they're gonna dabble in some postseason stuff right now. But just really how resilient they are and how they don't get rattled. The boys, I mean, we were dealing with just sickness galore and just kids dealing with some like things out of their control. I mean, we lost one of our best guys to pneumonia this year, and another, athlete had another medical issue.
I think you mentioned that we were supposed to have you guys on before, but I'm glad we have you on now.
Yeah.
But before, earlier in the season, we were going to have the cross country team on, and you said, yeah, everyone's
everyone's ravaged with sickness this year, and it seemed like it was one of those things where it wasn't just one sickness; it was multiple waves of the same kids getting sick, and I always preach resilience when it comes to like coaching, because you have to be resilient. You can't be afraid of failure in the sport, otherwise you're going to get burned very quickly. But I feel like this group did it better than anybody, like both sides. I mean, the boys.
Is that like a memory you'll take with you for a while? Huh?
Yeah, just that, and just I mean, the girls' state meet. I mean, there's not too many moments that top that. I mean, to have 6 girls all state. It's unheard of in this sport. Typically you win with like, 1 or 2 all-staters, and then you have your depth pieces that are in the top 60. We had all of our runners in the top 40. I mean,
That's amazing.
I like to stay in the moment and be humble and learn humility, but I'll let everybody else decide. But I mean, there's goat talk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to even think that they're, here in Romeo, that they're this good. But I mean, they're this good because they're resilient and they're tough. And then, the way the boys ran the county meet this year, missing one of our top guys. I mean, you think like, okay, we have one of our best runners out sick, not able to run today. You guys don't have a chance at winning counties. And we went out there and almost took the thing from people, and they finished second and springboarded that to qualifying for states. And that's missing some of our best guys. And it's incredible what this group was able to do. I'm very, very proud of them.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you stopping by and telling us a little bit about the cross. Congratulations again.
Appreciate
and, we hope that we'll be talking again next year about another state championship.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I'm here with boys cross country runners, Luke Allen and James Brickle. And gentlemen, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Tell us a little bit, first of all, about yourself, what grade you're in, and how long you've been running cross country.
So I'm in 11th grade, and I've been running since 6th grade now. So it's been quite a journey for me, quite a few years. I started off in the middle school program. I went through that, and now I'm in the high school program and going 3 years running. Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Luke Allen, and I'm a junior too. I started in about fourth grade, just running 5Ks with my dad. That transferred to doing the elementary cross country team, and then middle school and high school. So I've been
So
running.
your dad runs too as well. Is that how you got interested in it, or
Yeah, my dad ran for Fremont High School, and when he was in high school, he
Ohio?
no, up north in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he ran there, and I started doing 5Ks with him, and I really enjoyed it.
And James, what you got interested in running? Well, you said sixth grade you started running, but when did you know you really liked it?
I would say I really started to get committed to it in eighth grade, but just when I first got into it in sixth grade, I didn't even go into it with the intent of running to run. It was more just for conditioning for other sports like wrestling. I actually joined because one of my best friends, Lucas, he got me into it. He convinced me to do it, and it's led me here. So yeah.
And so, Luke, I mean, Coach talked about training, and nutrition.
Yeah.
But training, what do you do to train for running? I mean, specifically, do you have a specific training routine?
Yeah, so coach obviously picks out our miles, how much miles we run, our workouts. So normally we have like peak season mileage. We'll have like 6 miles on Monday. Tuesday will be a workout, and then an MLR, which is a middle of the week long run, will be on Wednesday. And then we'll have like 6 miles on Thursday, Friday, and then a long run on Saturday, and then we'll run on Sunday too. So that's pretty much the plan every week. The workouts are different every week, and early in the season we'll have less mileage. Later in the season, the mileage builds, and then we go back down as we get into October.
Okay. And how about you, James? Any special training techniques or?
So I would say that based on the type of run that you're doing for that day, your effort level should change. Like we have standard easy days, which would be like 5 to 6 miles, and those you want to take easy to allow your body to recover. Whereas in workouts and long runs, you want to push the pace a little bit more to grow your fitness.
Okay. So we're talking about nutrition. So how many ding dongs do you guys eat? Any of that, or Twinkies, or?
Oh, well, I mean, we obviously.
Is that before a race or what?
Before races, we typically we only eat probably 2 hours before. I think me and James both typically eat fairly good. I mean, my mom really helps me with my nutrition, making sure I eat my fruits and
Your
vegetables.
mom's a good cook?
Oh yeah, she is. She's really good.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so-
one for you, Mom, out there.
Yeah, so I think that as a team, normally we all eat pretty healthy. We have team pasta parties before every race, so we
Pasta parties?
yeah, we load up on calories. We have moms bring salad, they bring pasta, and so I think typically as a team we eat pretty healthy.
Now, is your mom a better cook than his mom? Or?
I don't know. She's a pretty good cook, but I haven't seen his mom's cooking skills yet, so I don't know. But
You like spaghetti? And
I do, yeah. So like he said, pasta parties, it's basically just like a team dinner before races, to load up on carbohydrates from like noodles and pasta, and protein from like meats and the meat sauce and stuff. And what you were talking about with nutrition, you definitely have to eat healthy, but it's not like it's a super restrictive diet. Like you can sprinkle in unhealthy stuff as well and still perform, but it's definitely important to get your base protein, fruits and veggies and all that stuff.
Okay, so Luke, what else do you do besides cross country? There's some other things that you're involved with.
Oh yeah, I played freshman and JV basketball my freshman and sophomore year. I'm done with that now. Other than that, I mean, I hunt, I fish, I go snowboarding a lot. So I'm a pretty active person outside of running, but definitely running is my main focus.
Have you found that running has helped you when you do these other things?
I mean,
Other
yeah,
sports?
I was always the fastest guy on the basketball court. When I played football when I was younger, the only thing I liked doing was the sprints at the end of practice because I'd beat everybody. So, I mean, yeah, running's always been there.
It's
So,
always a good feeling.
yeah.
I was the guy that was last all the time, so that I had one of the team captains kind of run slow just to make sure that I wasn't always last. So that was nice of him. How about you, James? What do you do besides run and do training for cross country?
So like Luke said, I also hunt, I fish. I've been hunting hard lately because it's
It's
prime
season,
deer
right?
season. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So that's like the main hobbies that I do outside of running. I also used to do some other sports like baseball and wrestling, but now that I've gotten into running, I've kind of had to phase those out because it really is a full-time commitment. I mean, even though
So you train the whole year round. I mean, for
yes.
this. Okay.
So, how that works is at the end of cross country season, we take a 2-week break, and then we pretty much go straight back into training for the entire winter. And then at the end of track season, another 2-week break. And otherwise, we're running every day.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I could run every day, not at my age anyway, and my shape. But what do you want to do when you get out of high school? What does James want to be when he grows up, I guess is the question.
I want to be an engineer. That's kind of what my dad does. I was thinking either a civil or mechanical engineer. I want to keep my options open, but those are the two things I'm thinking of right now.
Luke?
My dad's the financial advisor in downtown Romeo for Edward Jones, so I would really like to take over his business in the future. So,
Oh, that's a good business
Yeah.
too as well. Maybe finances after looking at the stock market today, maybe a good choice.
oh yeah.
Both of you guys, give me a quick opinion on how you think you're going to do next year.
I'm really optimistic for next year. This team, we've been through a lot, and we're returning 6 of our 7 varsity runners, as well as getting a new class of 35 freshmen coming up, most of which are boys, and really talented boys as well. Actually, some of the siblings of the girls team.
Oh, little legacy here.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're getting them come in, so with them to come in, so I'm optimistic. I'm excited for it.
That's good. That's good. Luke, how about you?
Yeah, this year we lost our streaks, which was a little disappointing, but I was honestly really proud of the younger guys. They stepped up a lot. Next year, as long as our guys train over the winter, which I've had conversations with them, it sounds like they're ready to go. So I think that we're going to come into a great track season, and we're going to train over the summer, and I think we're going to be a powerhouse next year for sure.
That'll be great. Well, I'm here now with the girls cross country team. A couple of ladies from the girls cross country who are now the state champions. Olivia Purdy and Natalia Garismo. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And congratulations. And you knew you had it all the way right from the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
You really had that good confidence going, huh?
Yep.
That's good. It reminds me of when the Pistons did the back-to-back championship back in the late 80s. Nobody thought they could win another championship, but they knew they could win it for the whole year. So they have to have a mindset, right? So tell me a little bit about cross-country isn't just, hey, let's just start running. There is a little bit of strategy to it, and tell me how you both fit into that.
I think it's really hard to find a strategy. Like last year I struggled to find a strategy, so this year I kind of went into it like trying to find my strategy and how to like race like smart. And so I think a lot of it is just going out a little slower. You can't go out people think that running is just you run as fast as you can for 3 miles, and that's not it. You have to like work into it and you have to build into it. When you start, you can't go out too fast, and then the middle mile can't be too fast because you still want to like conserve enough energy for that last mile, but you still want to like be able to have use all your potential throughout the race.
Olivia, how do you fit in with the team here, and what is your kind of sort of role?
Well, right now I'm the team captain along with Violet. Oops. And I joined my sophomore year, so I didn't have a freshman year here, so I've only been here for 3 years. So it was really nice to like join this team and still get to like be a part of the team and like be included with everybody. So yeah, and it's really fun being captain with Violet and getting to have all those opportunities.
And you guys are all pretty good friends, right?
Yeah.
You got each other's back, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the season early on in the season. As Coach alluded to, he kind of lets you run the way you like to run. But tell a little bit about the early part of the season.
Well, I think we went into it even like starting like
Because you're coming in as state champ.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we already had that kind of under our belt, and we kind of like know how to do it. So I think the confidence was there. We know we had all returning athletes, so I think we're just kind of trying to be together and train like we usually do and just get better together.
Yeah, but like going off of what she said, like just like coming into the season and being like confident and having that like positive mindset, but still like just focusing on like being a team and just like enjoying the sport and like just like having fun with running, especially at the start, because there was really no like pressure. It was just like remembering why we're doing this and like, but still knowing like we like are at that level and we like have like a good chance of winning, but like also not being like cocky about it and just having like fun with it.
And you won the counties, okay? Then you won the regionals. At that point, what was kind of going through your mind? Hey, we might be able to do this, or what?
I think we always kind of knew we were gonna do it. So when we came into regionals and counties, I think that was just like that was a step to like something bigger, obviously to states. So like having like just swept that is just kind of like a thing we could do together, a thing that'll like it wasn't that stressful obviously because we kind of knew we were gonna do it. And then before we go to states, it was kind of like a stepping stone for us to just feel confident, like even more confident with ourselves and with our running.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think it gives us like a different like perspective going into it, like just knowing like we could like just sweep and like get like 15 points, like the lowest you can get, and like going into it just more focusing on that, like okay, we want to get like 1 through 8, like just having like kind of switching up the goals from like winning to like as a team, like individually, and stuff. So
Well, I asked Coach about what goes through the mind of somebody that's out there running. I mean, what goes through my mind is, oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna have a heart attack. But you ladies train for this, and how do you keep yourself mentally fit through a race?
I think like last year I used to just like leave my mind blank, and I think it's even better to have thoughts, but like every thought you have when you're racing needs to be positive. When you have a negative mindset, you might as well just not race. When you have a positive mindset, you can just do so much more, and you're just like you can do so much more.
yeah, I agree. I think like especially like when you think of something negative or you're like, oh, this like it's hurting or like whatnot, I think it's really good to remind yourself like this is what you've worked for, like you've you've raced this before, like you can do it, whatnot. Like in my opinion, like I know we both like journal like before we like race, so we kind of get out our negative thoughts and like we write our affirmations and stuff. And like my dad a lot, like he'll send me like Bible verses and just like reminders, like like all for the glory of God and whatnot. And like I know at states, like a big thing of mine was like just reminding myself like I can do this through His strength and stuff. So like I like personally I do that. So
And what is it? What does it feel like when you're done and finished the race? I mean, what's the feeling like?
Honestly, I think it's better than I always say. I can't wait for this to be over because I love after races because we're just all so happy that it's done and like the stress is gone and we can all just kind of like hang out and goof around and like go to the awards and we can just all be together because we swept the county and swept the region, so we're all together. I think it's really fun.
yeah, I think like the relief afterwards, like knowing you just raced and like being proud of your team and like getting to go and like just like celebrate or like cheer on like your other teammates or like the next couple races and like and me and Natalia like we eat so like just knowing I can like eat whatever I want
I
after
can eat down
like,
there.
so
Twinkies, ding dongs, all the good stuff. Yeah.
so that's my favorite part.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just yeah.
So what do you guys want to be when you grow up? What are you going to do after cross country is over within high school?
I want to be something in business. I'm not like I haven't pinpointed it, but something in business. So I want to go to a school outside of Michigan and go somewhere cool. I'm gonna obviously run in college and then do something in business.
Have you been getting some offers?
I've been talking to a couple schools.
Okay.
Not a ton lately. I'm only a junior, so I got a lot of time. But
I used to hear from schools too. They told me don't even think about it. How about you, Olivia?
I want to go into some kind of healthcare job. I was looking at like a nurse anesthetist. I'm gonna be running for High Point University in North Carolina next year, so I'm super excited for that and like to be able to continue running and stuff. So
Well, that's what my daughter wants to be. She's a nurse now, and she
Yeah.
wants to be that too. So that's
Yeah.
that's pretty good choice.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I congratulate you once again, and I want to thank you for joining me here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show.
thank you for having
thank
us.
you.
We'll be back with more cross-country runners right after this. Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm here with three more cross-country runners from the girls' team, Violet Rabowski, Emerson Clore, and Ella Goodsell. And ladies, welcome to the show, and congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it feel like to be state champs again?
Feels really good.
Yeah,
Really
incredible. Yeah.
To kind of walk around with a little bit more swagger around town.
Sure.
We're getting more.
So tell me a little bit about what it takes to win 2 championships in 2 years.
I would say it takes a lot of determination. And you kind of have to humble yourself at moments. Like during training, Bus always says you have to humble yourself. And that sounds a little funky, but you really have to understand the bad comes with the good. Like if you're having a bad workout, that doesn't mean you're going to have a bad season. And then as like determination, you have to show up every day. You have to want the victory. You have to want to win. And again, that like sounds like something that every team has, but to have determination from all 7 girls is an incredible thing, and it's amazing for all of us to have. So.
And are you determined, Violet?
Yeah, like I definitely think it takes like a group of girls who are willing to work hard and push each other, because like I mean we're all really competitive people and we all work really well together, so I think that's definitely something that's really important for what we're able to accomplish.
And Ella, what were your thoughts about trying to repeat again, state champs, or having the team repeat again as state champs? I mean, did you think that was possible?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was possible. I mean, it's really like, I think just being on a team like this and being able to train with them all, it's really nice because I get to like, I get a like a friend group as well, like a training group and a friend group. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean you've gotten a lot better too
So nobody was like,
since you've started.
starting any problems with anybody, any gossip, nothing you can tell me about somebody? No?
I feel like this team is somewhere where you can just share everything. Like on runs, we talk about everything and anything. Like,
Not while you're running, you don't talk.
Yeah.
No, we do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You talk while you're running? I have enough time just breathing.
It's the only thing that makes it enjoyable, to be honest. Because if you're just like running, you're just like breathing and it's just awkward. So we just talk about anything, and you can get advice, or some people can make jokes about it, make you feel better about the situation. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah. I've never equated that with fun, but Violet, there is a method or a strategy while you're running. It's not just getting in there and just running, but tell me a little bit about your strategy as a cross country runner.
So I've definitely, like, last year when I broke my foot, I definitely struggled a lot mentally. But this year I just tried to, have more fun with it and just kind of take it, like, one step at a time. Because, like, I feel like if you look, like, towards the end and you think about what you want to accomplish, like, that can be obviously, like, a little stressful. Because, I mean, I wanted to get all state. Like, I wanted to win states, like, as a team and stuff. And, like, I don't know, just kind of taking it, like, day by day and, like, each step, like just doing the little small things that help. I think that definitely like contributes to that, and just kind of staying positive during it. Not like if you have a negative thought, just kind of push it out and change it to something positive.
What would be a negative thought?
Dropping out.
Oh, thinking about quitting?
Yeah, or just being like, why am I doing this?
Oh, why am I doing this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like the minute it starts.
How do you
to
force
hurt,
that out of your mind? How hard is it to do that?
I think it kind of depends on the day. I mean, if I'm not feeling good at all, I mean, it's obviously harder. If I'm having a good day, it's not as bad. I just kind of remind myself of my goals and like what I want to accomplish. And
how about you, Ella? What kind of strategy do you employ when you're out there running?
Normally I just go out and race, and I try not to start out too fast because then you would die and you would become more tired.
Nobody wants dead people out there.
Yeah, but I try to not go out too fast the first mile, and then the second mile, try not to go too slow, and then after that, you just hang on, and then normally I try to pick it up a lot towards the end.
Okay, that seems fair, right? Just pick it up at the end. I mean, that seems, I can't pick it up at the beginning, I can't pick it up at the end, I can't pick it up in the middle. Coach talked a little bit about that middle mile.
Yeah.
Is that the most difficult in a race?
In my opinion, I do not think the middle mile is the hardest mile, but it is for a lot of people just because, again, if you go out too hard, like Ella said, then you're going to die in those center miles. But it's also where people kind of find their pace, or you either like you can catch up to people, or like kind of make your way through the race. That's where you make your move. That's where a lot of people make their move. But yeah, so that's why he talks about the middle miles.
And you guys do what, 3.1 miles in how many minutes? 18 minutes? Under 18 minutes?
Like roughly 18.
Yeah.
Do you know how fast that is? You know how fast that is? That's pretty fast. Really, under 8. I mean, to run cross country, and you're running up and down hills, and it's not like a track, right? So you run up and down hills. When you started out in cross country, did you ever think you were going to kind of run that fast?
No, never. I just started last year and I started running 25 minutes. So, no, I never thought I would be fast.
How do you think you got that way?
I think just consistency and continuing to show up to practice every day and train every day and putting in the effort and the work.
We've seen a lot of hard work out of Ella this season. Last track season, was it track season?
Yeah.
She really hurt her knee and decided she was going to run anyway. So she kept running. And this summer, I think you had to take, 2 months off?
3.
Yeah, 3 months off. And then she came back and just immediately started training with us. And she showed up every single day to practice. She put the work in, and that's where she is. That's how she is where she is today.
Well, that's what my mommy told me. The harder you work, the better off you'll be. So I guess that's how I ended up here. How about you, Violet? What does Violet want to do when Violet's done with cross country?
Well, I'm planning on running in college next year, and then I'm thinking of going into nursing, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm just pretty sure something in the healthcare field, but.
How about you, Ella? What do you think you're going to do when you're done with cross country?
I plan on going in the medical field. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but something in the medical field.
Okay. And Emerson, how about you?
Again, I'm kind of boring, but medical field as well. We're all in the medical program at our school.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'll ask you a real quick question. Before a meal, since I like to eat, what do you like to eat before our meet?
Okay. So this kind of varies for me because my freshman year I used to always do pasta, the meal before. And then I switched to you do a half of a bagel with peanut butter and banana.
Oh,
And I've been doing that ever since.
that's a lot of carbs in there.
Yeah. And then the night before we always do pasta parties.
You do pasta parties anyway. Again,
Yeah.
Violet, what about you? You just
Yeah, usually the night before, I used to eat pasta. I don't usually eat that anymore. I kind of just eat usually I have a power bowl or something like that.
it's a
and
power
then,
bowl.
rice, chicken, avocado, stuff like that.
Very interesting.
And then the morning of, I usually have bread, toasted bread with peanut butter and then banana and honey on it.
Well, that's fantastic. And how about you, Ella? What's your favorite pre-meet meal?
The night before I have pasta, and then the day of, normally I either have oatmeal or a bagel with peanut butter.
You guys find that gets you through the race, right? Those carbs are kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people think that eating a lot, the eating matters so much in the race. But if I'm being honest, I don't think that it does that much,
Okay.
in my opinion. So
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
yeah, and I used to think it did a ton, but it really doesn't. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, thank you for joining me here on the show, and of course, congratulations once again. And gosh, three-peat maybe? What do you think?
We'll see.
Okay. I'm here with more girls cross country runners, state champion girls cross country runners from Romeo. I'm with Reese Rossbolt,
Yeah.
Lillian Deskins, and little sister Annie Rabowski. Welcome to the show, ladies, and really appreciate you coming on, and congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having us.
So, like I ask everybody else, did you know you were going to do this? When did you know that it was possible? When did you kind of sink in going, you know what, we're going to win?
I mean, I feel like deep down we kind of all had a feeling that we could repeat last year. And I know that sounds pretty early, but I feel like with the majority of us returning the following year and not really graduating any seniors, I think we graduated one. I feel like, having this talented young team coming back, we kind of knew it was a possibility. And I think the whole state kind of knew. I feel like we've gotten a lot of comments from other runners or the running community throughout the state, just kind of talking about,
You guys all talk to one another.
Yeah. Kind of just talking about, the Romeo girls. But yeah, I think we wanted to stay level-headed and we wanted to,
keep training. We kept our heads down and we just kept working, and eventually it came to fruition and we won another title. So that was an incredible feeling.
How about you, Reese? Did you kind of have a feeling when? When did you have that feeling that, hey, I mean, yeah, maybe deep down you knew you were going to do it, but when they go, oh my gosh, this is going to be possible?
Yeah, as the alternate, I had like a really good feeling about those girls. Like they're a really good team and they're really deep and they work really hard. So I always knew that they're capable of doing it. Like I always knew they were gonna win. Like even at the start of the season, I knew they were going to.
And Annie, how about you? You're sort of the younger sister of the other Roboski on the team. So, how much of that plays into your running?
She definitely like helps me like want to continue doing it, just like having someone there like to help me through it. So.
And when did you think, hey, I'm hooked, I'm hitched onto a really fast wagon here. It's gonna go all the way.
I feel like last year, like what Lillian said, like we all kind of knew like it was definitely a possibility, and like we have a good group that just works really well together to help push each other to be the best we can.
And so last year, you guys won the states.
Mm.
And you immediately started thinking about, hey, we can do it next year. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we obviously wanted to celebrate and kind of take in the moment because it's a big moment and, you're going to remember it forever. So, yeah, we kind of celebrated and just enjoyed the time that we had. And then I feel like it's something that just pops in your mind naturally. I feel like over time at practice, when indoor started, when track started, we still have a solid distance side in track, but we're definitely more of a cross-country school. So I feel like our minds were really kind of just focused on that. And
Well,
I
it
think,
takes focus to do anything, really. I mean, you really need to focus on stuff. So
yeah.
But it seems like you guys focused like really early, like almost right after you won the state championship last year.
Yeah, I feel like naturally just with so many of us returning, I mean, we were only going to get better, and that was kind of our thought on it. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of how we were thinking last year.
And Reese, what was the hardest thing on your road to this championship?
I'm not really sure. I guess staying like mentally tough during like if I would have a bad race, sometimes I would let it affect me, but I would like remind myself like, oh, you got to get back to like working hard. So if I had like a hardship, I would just get back and like focus on the process.
And how about you, Ann?
Definitely like agree with Reese, like basically just like trusting your coaches and like people that want to help you like succeed, just like trusting that they know what they're talking about. So
Is there times when you thought coach was kind of, hey, he's a little full of it? Well, was there times when he's talking and you're going, okay, yada yada yada? Any times like that?
I mean, I feel like with what he's done with this program, it's hard to kind of listen to what he says and look at him and think that because, I mean, he's built a legacy here. Like, it is absolutely incredible what he's done with this team. So, I mean, I feel like he truthfully is the best cross-country coach in the state of Michigan, and I wholeheartedly believe that. So I feel like everything he says, I'm just like, he's like the master of it all. So obviously you're going to, take in what he says and you're going to want to believe it and just kind of listen to him and what he has to say.
And you guys, I suppose, ditto that, right? I mean, you probably agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Reese, tell me a little bit about how the coaches helped you.
I had a shin injury in like the middle of the summer, and I was very upset because I had to take some time off, and he would always remind me like, oh, it's still early in the season, and like you can still get like,
don't get down.
Yeah, you can still get back to where you were. And then he would also have me do like supplemental stuff like aqua jogging and going on the arc trainer.
What is aqua jogging?
So basically you're in a pool and you're like running with a little like float.
Oh, that I could do. I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would have us do that and to like supplement out running, and he helped me get back to where my fitness was, and ultimately I got better. So.
Oh, okay. And how about you, Annie? Anything in particular that coach helped you with?
same thing, just like getting back from injuries or like anything that can like cause like down steps or anything basically like that.
Okay, tell me a little bit about. Let's just go right to the state championship race. Can you describe the just the day that from the start to the finish? What was kind of going through your mind?
We raced a little later this year actually, so I feel like we were kind of just trying to keep our minds busy and off of the race because if you think about it too much, you're just gonna stress yourself out and it's just gonna be a recipe for disaster. So, we kind of hung out as a team. I was in the hotel room with Natalia, and then Liv came in as well, and we were just hanging out. Yeah, kind of just relaxing, getting our minds ready. And then as it got closer to race time, I think you could all tell like we were locking in a little bit, kind of, calming down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we were ready, and I feel like anyone who was in the room with us could tell. I felt ready, obviously, naturally nervous, but I don't think nerves are a bad thing, and we were excited. But yeah, it ended up just being a great race. Conditions couldn't have been any more perfect. And yeah, it was a great way to go out, especially for me as a senior. So to be able to do it with them too was incredible. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else. So yeah.
How about you? What was going through your mind here at the race and when getting ready to start it?
I was getting ready in case something happened because I was the alternate, so I didn't get to run. But if someone were to like pull out at the last minute, I was like always ready, and in case something happened, I was ready.
So you were stretching out, just making sure that you're.
Yeah, I did
just in
dynamics
case.
with them. I was with them all like up until the people said for all the like spectators to get off the start line. So I was with them for like a lot of
How
it.
about you, man?
We were definitely really nervous, like Lillian said, anyone could tell, but like I feel like those nerves all like helped us all like push ourselves to do better during the race. So
And after the race was over, what happened? What was going through your mind?
I mean, I feel like for me, especially towards that end of the last mile, you're kind of like in like nowhere land. Like, I don't know, your mind kind of just blanks out. So yeah, when you cross the line, you're a little discombobulated, but eventually we grouped up and the interviews were kind of right in our face right after.
Yeah.
So it was emotional, and especially for me, it was, bittersweet being my last one. But yeah, I looked up at the board and I kind of saw the result, and it's the best feeling in the world. It was the best feeling last year and even better this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was amazing.
And you, Reese?
I have really like no words to describe like how proud I am of them. Like I was cheering them on during the race, and it's like
That was just as nerve-wracking for you.
yeah, it's like different. Like it's one like running with them, but it's different watching them because you see how deep of a team they are, and watching them like I was so proud of them. And then when they finished, I knew they were gonna win, and I was so happy for them.
Annie, how about you?
we were really happy. Maybe like we knew like we had definitely had a chance, but like nothing compares to like crossing the finish line and then seeing us like up top like winning. So it's like a really amazing feeling.
It's so cool. That's just so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys had a chance to experience that. That's wonderful. As we move on in life, you two are coming back next year, right? So you have a chance to three-peat, right?
Yeah.
At least you're going to try for it, right?
I think we could definitely.
I think
Okay.
we can.
All right. But what do you want to do once running is over and high school's over?
I guess I want to run in college a lot, and then when I'm done with college and all of that, I want to either be a nutritionist or a sports medicine doctor.
Oh, okay. So you're staying in sports. That's good. How about you, Ann?
Same. I definitely want to run in college and to be like a big part of what I do. And I'm not really sure like what I want to like do for like a living, but like I definitely want to do something with sports. So
Oh, okay. Cool. And you're going off to college. So what do you think you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, I actually just recently committed to the University of Miami to run track and field and cross country there. And then I'm planning on majoring in business. I've been really interested in finance and hedge fund investing, so hoping to kind of go that route. My brother's in the business school at University of Michigan, so kind of just following in his footsteps, and I look up to him a lot. So that would be cool to kind of be.
Well, maybe you'll be one of those broadcasters, one of those business shows on
Yeah.
TV or something.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, I appreciate you stopping by, and I'd like to thank you for having a few words with me here today, and congratulate you once again on the championship. It's so cool, and maybe keep my fingers crossed, three-peat, huh?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. Just one final word here. Congratulations to the girls' golf team as they had a 15th place showing in the state tournament, which was excellent. And also to individual golfer, Tula Pazzuli. Tula placed second individually. So congratulations on a successful girls golf season. And Coach Paul Scally and Coach Keith Bach doing a fine job with that girls program. And I thank you for joining us here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show. Until next time, I'm Tim Meyer. We'll see you again right here on the Mitt TV.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.